Before the video starts, I would just like to thank each and every one of you for taking the extra step to be selfless despite us being voluntold into this class. But most importantly, each one of you at some point this year, no matter how minor it was, has made an effort to step up out of your comfort zone, and you should be proud of yourself for doing that. I don't think if it was for our teachers, Miss Twyman and Miss Berthold, alongside you guys, I wouldn't have been able to blossom into something greater. But instead, I probably would have continued on with my fixed mindset. So I mean it with all my heart. You guys are the world to me, and I appreciate all of you dearly. Welcome to my presentation. I would like to address, I do know this isn't one of the listed presentation methods, but given that we weren't given a lot of choices, I decided to try to be original, but I do hope you guys enjoy the video. First question is, what type of leader are you? After extensive Google searches, I decided that I'd probably be transformational. The reason why I say that is because I'm not really the type of dude to subordinate people or put people under me. Rather, I try to work with my peers to identify and solve a problem. I believe being a leader is a collective thing. It's not just you have one person and then 50 people below them and that's expected to work out. No, I don't think that is a really efficient way, because one mind versus 50, I mean, you do the math. The second question is, where do I see myself in the next 5 years, and how will my leadership qualities help me get there? Straight out of high school, I plan to attend TCC to finish my general education and work towards my associates in computer science, and if everything goes right there, I hope to then go to William & Mary. The core ideal I can bring from leadership is I can proudly say that I am comfortable with speaking in front of people now. If you were to talk to me in early September, there's no doubt in my mind that I probably would have taken a 5-page essay over having to speak in front of people for 2 minutes, which is quite embarrassing looking back at it, but it's something I've overcome in leadership, so I'm grateful for that. Next, we have question 3. What areas have you grown in since enrolling in leadership class? Within the first month of leadership starting, I definitely could tell that I became more extroverted. I feel like leadership has sort of been an aid to me in overcoming anxiety. I've put myself in positions this year where I was very uncomfortable and I didn't want to do anything, but after taking a breather, I recognized that everything was okay and I was just overthinking stuff. Question 4 is, what leader has had the greatest impact on your life? This might be a slightly unpopular opinion for some, but someone I've looked up to recently is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I know it may seem weird for a few that I'm looking up to a woman instead of a paternal figure, but she's relentless, unforgiving, and she's proven time and time again that she's not afraid to step up to corporations. Obviously, she's an advocate for women's rights, and genuinely for all. She's what a prime citizen should be. I genuinely think she's what a prime leader should look like. She's articulate, and she is liked by the majority of people. Question 5 asks which statement I agree with the most. I agree, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, and do more, you are a leader. I say this because the only people that wouldn't really believe in this would probably be the ones with Napoleonic complexes. Instead of cherry picking the bad aspects about people, all of us can make an effort to appreciate the good aspects about people. If we drown ourselves in negativity, the obvious will come. You'll be surrounded by negativity. Nothing good will probably come to you because that's all you're focused on. Things like accepting responsibility or recognizing that everyone might not be having their greatest day will further enable you to grow more empathetic, and not only does that encourage a more optimistic outview on life, but you'll probably notice a lot more people coming in. It's a win-win situation. You make people happy, you're happy, what is there to lose? Last but not least, what lessons from this class do I plan to apply to my life moving forward? It may sound cheesy, but I believe as a human I've grown significantly. I didn't expect to get so much from leadership, given that this was its first time running in a couple years, and we were just sort of thrown into the class with no formal introduction to it or the fact that we were even asked. You'd expect for education systems to teach their students something substantial that they can use outside of high school, and I feel like there's not really any other class that is as practical as this one when it comes to social skills. Despite the fact that I already considered myself inclusive, working with the special education students this year was just an eye-opening experience for me. While I couldn't really put myself in their shoes, I got to see that students without learning disabilities weren't too fond of them, and that didn't really feel fair to me. It felt like there was an injustice of equity. Personally, I don't think you can claim to be a decent human being if you're not willing to include all, and leadership has just built on top of that idea, and that alone I'm grateful for. Although this project was out on a whim, I enjoyed making it. I don't really get to play games too often now, and this was a perfect opportunity to kill two birds with one stone. So, again, I love you guys, and I wish you all the best of luck. Except Haley and Kaylee, since Haley has a year, and then Kaylee has 2 years. But, again, thank you guys for everything.